person on here. I'm gonna turn the computer on. Don't need to see that. Let's see here. Okay. Only one. Little Southern Brothers. What's up, guys? Hopefully you guys are making out down there all right. You gotta forgive me. This is kind of a last minute thing. Having a little energy and thought I'd talk about the wood market. How your guys' wood market coming up down there? You look like you're still sawing some ties and things. Hopefully your dad's doing good. Let's go to that YouTube. We're gonna pause that so I can read. What?
Why were they in YouTube jail?
Who?
Little Southern Brothers.
Who said that?
They did. In the chat.
I don't know. What'd you guys do? Well, I mean, you don't have to say it. Just whatever. Old timer, Mr. Yahoo. Jesse Harmon. Hey, we got some going big surprise for Bunyan this year. I'm not gonna talk about it just yet till we get it all put together, but it's looking pretty cool. You guys are gonna want it. You got to be there though to be part of it. King says the timber prices went up by them. Matthew Teeple. Skidder Kev, you're on vacation, I think. That or I think he was. No, maybe not. I don't know. They said prices, just heard the prices, Little Southern Brothers, the prices going down on red oak and poplar. I don't think red oak in our area can go much lower. Perry Roberts. Hoskins Logging, how you doing, buddy? Ain't heard from you in a while. Hope you're all as well. Hope that 518's running good. Matthew Teeple. Jesse Harmon, I will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday's usually just for very briefly in the morning. Kev said sitting by the fire, looking over the lake. You should be throwing a cast trying to catch some nighttime pickerel.
Which are actually walleye.
Yeah, actually walleye. I get a drink here, guys. Give me a second. I got some iced tea over here I want to get into. So if you're from Western PA, you know Marburger iced tea. Makes pretty good stuff. I know it's just tea powder and water, but it's good. Excuse me, I'm just a little thirsty. Okay. Jesse Hodges. Okay, so what I want to talk about is everybody's obviously the elephant in the room is market conditions and all that crap, and market conditions, you know, and how the wood yard is, how the wood market's going to crash, and you know, the reason I wanted to talk about this is something I can't stand. It drives me nuts. I think in life we are all a little bit guilty of it. We've all done it. It seems like all you ever hear is the negative, the bad, and everybody's so negative. Like and this is my own fault. I was looking at something on one of the Facebook buy sell pages. Someone posted a question, you know, are lumber or timber prices falling or log prices falling? In the comments, there was 50 some comments. All right, so the first thing wrong with this is I was on the Facebook. That's the first thing. And I try to limit anything I'm doing on there anymore. So if you guys go on there and you friend me or something and you don't get a response from it, or don't feel bad, because I try to stay out of there, because all I do is just 2 minutes on that thing in the morning and you're instantly pissed and it just ruins your whole day. It's nothing but negativity on there, and I just can't handle it.
Me, do you look at French Bulldog?
Yeah, unless you're Lauren and you look at French Bulldog puppies all day. So anyways, I was like, I know where these comments are going. I just want to jump. I just want to look and read them because I thought it was hilarious. So you go in there, and there's all these comments. Price is falling. Oh, you think it's bad now. It's going to be horrible, and nothing's going to move in the fall, and that's going to be it, and it's going to be over. It's just constant flow of that negative. It's over. It's done. It's da-da-da-da. Let's face it, if it was over and done, it's over and done. What are we all worried about? It's not over and done. This is what they call market fluctuations. There's, we as a human race are always going to use wood for something or another. Some things are going to collapse and others are going to come back. And why the markets went that way, that's a whole nother, we're not going to get into that. But just there is market fluctuations. And one comment I read in there was a guy said, if I had a $10 bill for every time someone made that comment, it's done, it's over, this is all, we're screwed here, we're screwed there, no more logging or whatever. He says, I could have bought 5 more log trucks to haul logs. And, he's so true. There's a couple rumors of why the markets are falling. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. I heard one is because there is a logistics issue these days of getting the raw lumber shipped. And I'll come back and read some of your comments. Another one was obviously the stock market, the housing market's crashing. That's causing it to come down. The foreign trade end of it, because China's in the crapper. That's what drives our red oak and cherry prices over here. Our domestic market seems to be the lighter colored woods. It's just tough. I can't stand the negativity about it because so many people get, so down. If all you do is focus on the bad in life, you're never going to have a positive outlook on everything. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Everybody is. I think human nature I think the human brain thrives on drama and negativity. Good, thank you. She helped me out with a word. People just like that bad news. Like, I don't know what it is. Seems like people are more excited. Society, I'm not labeling anybody, but society as a whole is more, to me, and I don't mean.
I mean, you look at it when you post a video, if you post something that's like.
Yeah, okay.
Goes wrong, you get more views.
Yeah, so if I put a video up where like, oh, skidder caught fire, something blew up, or or you insinuate, in your title that it's something bad has happened. You just see on my videos, on my end, how much more views and oh man, I got to see what this is. But you put a video up, had the best day of my life, or it has a positive thing on it, and it gets views, but nothing like what you would with that bad one. It's like society is drawn towards that bad and negative, and it just sucks. You think of what we as people, or us in the logging industry for him, what we have accomplished, from the days of floating logs down to the rivers, hand cutting everything with cross-cut saws and axes, to now, I mean, look, guys, we have these cable assist machines and push button machines, and there's guys that cut millions of feet a year and never touch a chainsaw anymore. And it's just, look how far everything's come. But think if we had more of a positive outlook, how much further we could be. I don't know. That's just me. It's just tough. I hate that. I really hate that. And like I said, I've been guilty of having a bad out. I mean, everybody gets in just a dump sometimes, or in a rut. And it's understandable. With the way the world goes, it's hard to always be positive. But it's just frustrating. And it is so contagious. A bad attitude is so contagious. One man with a bad attitude, one person, let me phrase that, one person with a bad attitude can bring down an entire crew. Ugh, so rough. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. And so currently in our area, I know markets are tightening up. So the one reason I heard logistical issues of shipping lumber overseas, shipping lumber anywhere, truck wise, whatever, there is a shortage on truck drivers in this world. One thing I know is getting us here is it's been so dry around us lately that, mills don't like big full yards in the summertime. Logs spoil like food. Maple especially spoils like the fastest. It gets that stain in it, and then it's not good. So inventories are down. Come that fall, once it cools off, you start to get the temps that are falling below freezing a little bit. What was that? Sorry, the puppy dog's wore out and he's just snoring up a storm over there. But once it starts to cool off, obviously everybody's slamming. They want that wood, you know what I mean? Because they want to build up for winter in the wet months, you know what I mean? For spring, and some states it's winter too, because we get wet winters. We don't get winters like we used to anymore. And so part of it now is just our weather, you know what I mean? And markets also fluctuate from where you are. I know, God, like where we are, it's getting a little bit tight. You go, I fell on here, said Minnesota area, they're wide open. Or I know one guy that was talking over on the eastern part of the state said they were full, they were shut off completely. And it's funny how regional those things are. Well, there's a fella right there, Woodcutter. He's just north of me. He's up towards like the Warren, PA area. Woodcutter 62. They're down because they're getting a little too full. So, and it's hard when the market starts to drop. I mean, the hard part is, we as loggers will get mad because they dropped the price of logs again. And I try to put myself in their shoes. They're trying to anticipate what's going to happen 6 months from now, or 3 to 6 months, however long that inventory they have has to last. They have to go put their genie hat on and think, what's lumber going to be at that point? Am I going to buy this 500,000 feet of maple and have it sit in a yard, and I'm going to buy it at $1 a foot? We're just going to do that that's not the price, but we're going to do that just because I can't do math on a Sunday night. So you got $500,000 of maple sitting there, and they're thinking, well, what's that price going to be? It's going to cost us, we'll say $250,000 to mill that 500,000 feet and ship it. And so that means they want to make however many percent, they want to make a $250,000 profit on it after they're done. And then so they're like, well, we're buying it for one, it's got to be selling for $2 a board foot at that time. Well, what happens if the market falls out? And forgive me if my math's wrong. Instead of that stuff selling for $2, it sells for $1.25 a foot. Now they've lost that 75 cents a foot. You know what I mean? So people get so mad at the mills, and there are some that take advantage, and there are some that don't. There's a lot that are fairly decent, but it's just so hard to have that kind of volume, be sitting on it, and then try to look ahead. I mean, I couldn't even fathom that. And it's just, well, I don't know enough about it to even begin to tell you. So I'm going to shut up about the mill end of it. I think Eli Rupp's in here. Yes, Roop is in here. Wayne Tharp, what's up? William Moxie. High Logger says, Nate, they have yet to pay me. So put that in your hat for a minute.
Well, we haven't checked the.
Yeah, but they haven't. But either way, the orders are there. You know what a big struggle is right now? Is acquiring the timber to cut. Because you obviously can't cut timber at the same price as you were a year ago today and make any money. You're going to lose money. One, fuel. Two, the market has come down. So now you're out there, if you have something you paid high dollar for and you can afford to sit on it and not take the bath, you're going to sit on it. You're going to extend a contract if you can, or maybe you had a 5-year contract on it. You got to go out and look for some cheaper timber to buy. So you're going to go to Joe Blow and say, hey, you've got $100,000 worth of timber that I offered you 40 grand for last year. Say it's lower grade stuff, whatever it is. I'll give you 40 grand for it. Well, you didn't want to sell it then. So and you call me back up and you say, hey, I want to sell that timber now. So I go back out there and, all right, here's that 100,000. Well, now I can only give you 25,000 for it, or 30,000, whatever the number may be. And you're going to go, oh, nah. They're going to laugh at you, slam the door in your face, and tell you don't ever come back. So that's the hard part, is when people have to get conditioned back into, hey, you know, the market has fallen. You know, my trees aren't worth what they were a year ago or 8 months ago. And, you know, I know some companies that are putting bids on stuff and they're backing out like, hey, we're retracting our bid because we think it's going to go further than what we had anticipated and we don't want to take a bath. So, just something to think of. Try to always put yourself in someone else's shoes and look at it from their side of the fence. And try to be positive. So the guy that I used to normally work with, so I was working with Nate, he just hasn't had any timber to really cut that he can make money on. Hi, Mike. And I understand that. It is frustrating because I've worked with him for a long time. And he's just in a transitional period now where it's like he doesn't have any work. And you want to get mad and you want to get frustrated, but at the same time, I understand. So that sucks. It's no fun being taken out of your comfortable element. And I can be bummed and upset, and this sucks, and blah, 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 kicking the dirt. And I kind of did that a little bit, and I had to smack myself one day, like, you know, look at what you're doing. You're going down that road you said you hate. And I ended up getting this job, this cleanup job, through a different company. Company we've sold logs to, but I've never cut for. Now I'm cutting for them. I have to, there's some things with my insurance I have to up a little bit. So there's some negative things. You're going to pay a little more money to get my insurance limits, you know, brought up, and have to add them and all this other shit. But the positive things, I'm making new relationships and meeting new people, new experiences, getting out of the comfortable element.
Growth makes life uncomfortable.
Yeah, good comment. Right there. She's going by growth makes life uncomfortable. Change makes life uncomfortable.
I gained you.
So, if you made it this far in the video, I just stay positive. If you got that person that's always negative in their life and it's just pounding on you about the negative, just, if you love them to death, just, you know, you maybe say, hey, it's cool you got the negative, just don't feed it to me. I don't want to hear it. Or if it's just one of them people that's just around you at work or whatever, you know, it might not be a personal friend, just try to avoid it. Try to stay away from it. Just try to always stay positive. I've seen in my time, and '08 was one of the worst crashes. Everybody always talked about it. I witnessed it, but it didn't affect me totally. I cut some timber right before it wrecked. I remember the prices on cherry were incredible. Incredible! And then it just went into pooper hardcore. And it, like, cherry hasn't been back to that same price in a long time. Since then, I think. So it's in cycles, and it seems like around here, every 5 years you have a major crash and then a rise. It seems to be on a 5 year. I remember I did some videos there. I'd have to go back and find them. Oh man, this is 5, 6 years ago, maybe more. We had a crash, and I remember going from one day wide open, cut this, cut that, blah, 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 everything here and there. I got a phone call from the guy I was cutting for, the guy I used to work for, and he said, ho, ho, just hold on a minute. Quit cutting this stuff. Don't cut that stuff. Can't send this here. Can't send that there. This type of log is now half price. You can only send one load here a week. You can only send 2 loads there a week. I mean, this happened in the course of 3 days, from a Friday to a Monday morning. And it was just boom. So you got to be ready for it. You have to try to anticipate it. Will you predict it? Man, it's like playing scratch off. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. More often you don't. So just try to do your best and learn from whatever mistakes. That's all I can tell you. And I remember, I'm 36 years old. I've been in this industry on and off as a total 19 years, but I've only been full-time for 5 or 6 now, so I don't know shit. I'm just trying to convey to you guys, anybody who might be in the industry, or anybody can, and you can use this advice for other stuff in life, but just, these are just things I've learned. Learned a lot of my lessons the hard way. A best learned lesson was learned the hard way. So.
Wayne said you need to search for a solid week to ponder on it. We tried that.
With what?
Wayne says you most likely need a solid week of fishing to ponder your next move.
Well, I'm still waiting for Wayne to come so we can take him.
No.
I was supposed to be given dates and times or something, and
You saw everybody who liked you anyway?
no, I want to forget that experience.
You can't forget it.
Yeah, tell me about it. Now, we went to Olcott, New York to go salmon fishing. So, if
You ever think about going, don't.
if Olcott, New York was like, if Lake Ontario was like a human, it kicked me in the balls repetitively for 3 days straight. And I finally, on the 3rd day, said I had enough. And I went,
It's done that to you multiple
yeah, it's
times.
done it to me a couple times. So I went back to Erie and just caught my walleye and came home with walleye. So I had something. It was very, very tough. And if I ever go back to fish in the lake, I'm just going to take the money that I spent on tackle, gas, food, room and board, and I'm just going to get a charter for 2 or 3 days and do it that way. That's all I'll say about that.
Wayne's gonna come see us on Wednesday.
Okay. What do you want for dinner? But yeah. Stay positive. Stay humble. I cannot emphasize stay humble. Don't ever forget who you are and where you came from, because in blink of an eye, stay humble. I went back to hand cutting, 2 jobs ago? Or a job ago? 2 jobs ago. I went from running that cutter and, really not having to have physical exertion and all that, till I'm back to dragging cable behind a dozer and cutting roads and hand bucking everything and topping everything by hand, back to the old spiel. And it's nice. That's where I came from. When I started, everything was hand bucked at the landing. You did everything the hard way, I guess you would say. And I know a lot of guys that do that still to this day. GUC says, greetings from Ottawa, Canada. So, yeah. Stay safe, stay
Got
home.
back to hand cutting.
What?
You got back to hand cutting and now didn't you say the other day that it was you were out of shape?
Oh, yeah, I'm out of shape. Yeah, definitely out of shape. We'll get her back. Yeah, there it sits. I told you in that video, We went to move the load of this job, and it's probably actually for the better that he didn't get hooked up to it, but that truck had too high of a fifth wheel plate and he couldn't get underneath that dang thing. So, you know, it's funny you say that, Wayne, because I tell you, I'm the kind of person, if I don't have the physical exertion to wear me out, my brain eats me up. It's funny. And was kind of needed right now. Is there any comments that I missed? If I missed it and I got to come back to it, I'm not going to go too late tonight because it's late. Why does my computer say 8:41?
It's going to 9:41.
I'm going back.
Billy wants to know if you talked to MSL since the group is probably going.
I have not yet. I don't know what he's up to. I seen him, there was something I got notified he was taking his kid doing their racing thing or whatever.
I saw something about him selling his dirt bike to buy another dirt bike.
Yeah.
That he broke his collar. He loves doing it.
I'm missing something here. Someone says something about what? It's 8:41 in Tennessee. Yeah, we missed the time. My computer, it's a new computer. I don't know how to use a damn thing. So, yeah. So there's going to be a transitional period there too when I finally break the bank to buy whatever editing software I'm going to buy. And then their learning curve, that'll be pretty steep. And change makes stuff awkward, right? I just want to tell you guys, don't fall in that negative trend. Don't do it. And however you need to stay out of it, whether it's don't watch the news, don't stay the hell off Facebook. Oh, that's so bad. I mean,
Unless you're following French Bulldogs.
Unless you're following French Bulldogs. It's hard too because I like so many of the people that are on there, and it's a great way to stay in touch with people, but there's just so much trash that gets thrown on there. I like it. The only reason I'm keeping it is the buy-sell groups. Eastern Loggers is a great group. PA Loggers and Log Haulers is a great group. I'm sure there's many for every states and all that. It's nice to see. What other people are doing and selling. Chad Prince, thank you so much, man. You didn't have to do that, buddy. You really didn't have to do it. It's greatly appreciated. That was nice. What was I going to say?
Facebook.
Yeah. So I use them groups, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of guys, you have that instant connection to people you might not have their phone number to. So it's like, hey, you know, my skidder's throwing a code, or my machine's doing this. Does anybody have an idea? Or, hey, where can I get this cheaper part? Anybody know where I can get a part? It's good for that. It's so nice to have that. I don't want to give that up. So, it's tough. You got to watch not to get sucked into that. And it's hard me saying that social media is bad because here I am on frickin' YouTube posting videos, which should be twice a week, but I just haven't had. I've been running and gunning trying to get as much wood out. So we went on that trip. We left Wednesday night. So I jammed out 3 loads in one day by the time we got the equipment moved, which ain't bad for doing a 3/4 mile skid up and down over 3 different hills. You've seen that in that video. And Slick Chick, what's up, buddy? You still working with that same guy? So I hurried up to do that, and I tried to video something, and it didn't work out real good. So I got that one video you guys saw, and I tried to make a second one, but I'm not about trying to feed you guys crap. So.
We would have videoed us catching fish, but we bought any.
Yeah, that didn't work out. Maybe we'll do a walleye fishing video before the year's over. Some of the things we do and how we do it.
Fred attacking fish.
Fred attacking fish. Mike, that job is in Center Township. Monica, as they call it. Monica. It's a funny story. When Lauren first moved here, we was going to Texas Roadhouse. We was going to go get us some steak and some cinnamon butter and them rolls they make. Hot damn, are they good. And she goes, there was this thing because of the Rona bullshit. She says, you call ahead. It's not like a reservation, but it's like,
It's an app for Texas
it lets you know.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's an app for them to let you know how long the wait is. And she says, "Well, wait, which Texas Roadhouse is it? Is it the one in Monaca?" And I was like, "What? That's Monaca." And our other friend calls it Monica. So.
Listen, you guys say things weird around here.
Oh yeah. So that's just where I wanted to go with that. I just felt like I needed to share that. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt. I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to this industry from what I feel, in my opinion. I just don't want to see anybody. We have enough crap thrown on our plate these days. And I just think it's tough enough without being so dragged down by the bad. So, Little Southern Brothers wants to know what all goes on at Bunyan on let's talk about that real quick. On Friday, is it worth the extra day? Well, hell yeah, it's worth the extra day. You kind of get the first jab at everything. So all the vendors selling stuff, you get the first, when they have limited quantities on things, you get the first jab at it. Sometimes they have visitors. I remember Bobby Goodson used to come on Fridays a lot. I don't know if he's even going to do that stuff anymore. That'd be cool if he did. He's a good guy.
It seems like things are more relaxed.
Yeah, Friday as like someone that, we'll be in the Eastern Loggers tent. We got something big for Eastern Loggers this year. So if you do come to the show, make sure you come over to the tent, get your calendars, get your shirts. We're going to have some shirts there. We're going to have some hats there. And if I can get the money flowing again to where I'm comfortable, I'm going to try to maybe get some coffee mugs made. Maybe, but don't hold me to that. But we have something else that's in the works, and if it pulls through, so I'm not going to say what it is or how it is, I think you guys are going to like it. It's probably the best thing we've done so far for them. So, and this year, hopefully, people got enough stuff that we can go around and get the stuff like we did before Rona to do another silent auction. Last year just was not enough stuff, not enough people. We got things from a few people, but I mean, I felt bad even asking last year because things were so tight. So, Matthew Teep, we'll see you. So, hopefully that answers your question, guys. I hope to see you guys there again. I look forward to it, and I think I'm out of stuff to say. I have a chunk of pepperoni roll over there calling my name that I wanted to eat, but I can't. That'd be rude to eat in front of you, so.
Not if you offered them stuff.
I want to share it.
Well, I've been eating it.
You're allowed to. So, yeah, if you can get the Bunyan, get your butts there. We love seeing you. I tell you what, that's the coolest thing. I don't know. My mom got it. I think it was probably cheap pepperoni. But Yeah, you guys better come. The coolest thing I've ever said about Bunyan was the one, walking through and people come up to you. And I had a fella, I remember, he shook my hand, he looked me right in the eye and he says, "Man, thank you." And I said, no problem. The thing, he says, "No, thank you." Actually, I had 2 or 3 do this. And he said, this one individual, he says, "You don't understand what your videos do." And I said, "Well, I'm just some goofball with a chainsaw." He says, "No." He says, "You don't understand what your videos have done for me." And I'm not going to go into a story or nothing, but he says, "I just want to thank you for the message you put out, for the content you put out," and it took me back. I didn't know how to expect that, you know what I mean? And I didn't expect that, didn't know how to react to it. And it was really cool. And it really hit me for the first time that, I made the videos for fun. I didn't realize they had that kind of impact on somebody. So, yeah. So, all right, guys. I'm going to shut her down for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Sorry this was so late. We had to pick up the pooch. And then look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday with Wednesday's video. And we'll get everything rolling back. Looks like we have some more work after this, too. So it should be okay. Hopefully we get her back, the ball rolling again. The right direction. So, all right, everybody. Don't let your meat loaf.